I do pray to bless our food, our conversations, and may we just have a great time. In Jesus' name, amen. Let me tell you a story. Shirley was telling me stories. See, Karen's supposed to be doing this. 2 days ago, she said she wanted to be the MC, and then she called the next day and said no. So Marianne says, Dwight, you have to do it. And I says, no, I don't have to. Amy's been carrying this microphone in her back pocket for an hour now. And she wants to. I know. So Shirley was telling me about going for a ride. All these stories I tell you today are all not true. But I'll embellish them as such I can. So Shirley was going for a ride, and the lady she was riding with was going down the 401 between Belleville and Trenton. And a police officer decided something's up, they're going off the slope. And as the police officer put the sirens lights on behind, they slowed down even more. And the lady didn't seem to be paying much attention that was driving. Didn't even notice the lights. So the police officer pulls up beside them. The lady's driving with her knee and she's knitting. And Shirley's talking away that nothing's wrong. The fellow puts on the siren, nothing. She didn't even see him. She's still knitting. So he rolls the window down. The lady rolls her window down, looks out, and he says, pull over. She waves. He hollers again, pull over. She says, no, dear, it's a scarf. Eunice wants to know if that's true. No, it's not true. Please come get something to eat. I was reading some more stories. Terry's going to try to follow me. So if I get right behind you, Terry, you can't do that? I was reading some more stories, and one of them was these three of Shirley's friends were all literally on a desert island and they couldn't get off. So the one decided to make a pot of tea. And so as she was making the pot of tea, she started rubbing the lamp to get a little bit warmer. And here her genie didn't pop out. And said, well, since there's three of you, I'll give each of you one wish. So the first one was Shirley. Shirley says, I love my family. I'm almost 80 years old. I would like to go to my birthday party. Could I please just go? So the genie, poof, Shirley was back in El Dorado. The next lady, she said, you know, I'm with Shirley. I have friends and family, and I would like to go to be with them too. So poof, she's gone home. The third one was this older lady, but she had her hair dyed blonde. Nice blonde. And she started to cry. And the genie said, what's the matter? She says, I wish my friends were back here with me. Poof! Shirley and her friend were all back on Desert Island. There was another story of these ladies over there. Shirley has lots of friends. And if you try to call many times because she's never in a room. She's always out visiting. She walks more than any of us. She does, it's a very long hall. And she says she walks to the end of the hall and back 4 times. Every day. Don't shake your head. She goes around the entire building. That's like from here to El Dorado. Twice a day. So she's in good shape. Don't try chasing her. She's not going to go fast, but she's going to get you there. So anyway, she's out in the parking lot, and as they were standing there, this one lady says, oh, she checked her purse. She said, I've locked the keys in the car. Any of you ever done that? I did it 2 weeks ago. I've locked the keys in the car. So the other lady with them says, well, we better call CAA. They looked around, yes, you go back in and call CAA. And then it started to rain. And Shirley said to the lady trying to get the thing open with her coat hanger, I wish you'd hurry up because it's starting to rain and the top's down. Shirley was always the smartest one. Now I've almost handed this microphone to half a dozen people. And so far, I have half a dozen big size, and then they wouldn't say anything. So I don't know if I have to ask Logan to help me out, or Finn, or any of you. Anybody want to say anything? This is really easy. You don't have to get up. I just hand you a microphone. See, I pastor church. Mary and I have been in Vancouver at the church there for almost 26 years. And when people don't talk, I just pick on them. So I'll just start and I'll go around the room this way. Okay? So the question is, tell me a story or a memory of your grandma.
She's my Nana, so I'll tell you a story about my Nana.
That's fine.
Okay.
My kids call her Nana.
I guess the big thing for me is Nana always called me her Emma Lou, so I always held it. I'm gonna cry. I was always a very dear part in her heart, and I want to thank you for all the days we used to spend together, just baking and gardening, and all the time that you spent. That was very dear to me, and I really appreciate that. Like any good grandmother, that will always be very important to me. And I love it very much.
Sometimes.
I remember doing all the gardening too. It was lots of fun, all the weeding. Really enjoyed that. I don't know, I remember our kids used to go to the trailer a lot and she'd take us swimming at the beach, so that was something we really enjoyed. Spent lots of hours down there. Thank you very much, Nana.
One of my favorite Nana stories is about Paul. When Paul was born, he was a preemie and he was tiny, and when she described it, she'd be like, he was so little, he fit like this in my hand. I don't think he was actually this small, but this is what she said. And now, he's obviously way bigger.
Who's going to get it? It was always a big thing for us when we went on the Thousand Islands tour, and Papa put his arm around him and kind of welcomed him into the family. That was a really important trip. We enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think that a lot of us have good memories of baking with Nana on Saturday mornings, and I feel like I've had a lot of good memories with her these last few years as well, as she's just, is healthy and doing well in Marmara at the seniors' home, and she's so social and everyone loves her there, and they think she's such a sweetheart, and A few weeks ago, I stopped by on the way from Peterborough to Madoc, and I joined her in a round of mini golf with all of her seniors. And I work at a college with a lot of young adults where if you have the right activity and a snack afterwards, people will come. And I think it's the very same thing at her seniors' home. If it's a fun activity and a snack and coffee afterwards, people will come. So I just really enjoyed seeing her play mini golf and joining in, and just that she's so happy right now in the season of her life, and I'm really happy for her about that. So yeah.
Do it, Nana.
Hello, Shirley. I think it's a bit older than me. But I'm catching up. I had a birthday last Thursday, and I really feel that age again. Anyway, it was nice meeting your sister. We all had a lot of fun growing up. We didn't have a whole lot of, other than work, we had a hell of a lot of work. And I really mean that. It was from milking cows to throwing hay and cleaning the stables and just doing everything that girls had to do. Because the boys all worked in the bush with my dad. So we had a lot of chores to do, I guess it's called. But it was enjoyable, us all being together. And you too, Barb. Yeah, it was fun.
I always remember going back to your place, you never let me out there without a meal, and they were good. We were talking about wild meat, cooking wild meat, and I said, if you want to taste wild meat properly cooked, see Shirley, she can do it. And there aren't many people left that can do that. So happy 80th, Shirley.
Shirley was always very special to us. Shirley was especially special to my mother. When Mother wasn't well, I always looked back the road when I was on my way to school. And Shirley would get up at 6, do her work, and when I was on my way to school, Shirley was coming out the road, and she stayed with Mother all day. And then when I started to work in Madoc, Shirley traveled with me every day, and the highlight of our day was when we stopped at the dairy for supper and Shirley didn't have to cook. But we've always had very fond memories of Uncle Wilfred and Shirley and my parents, and we're always close. And I'll always have fond memories of our times together.
Hi, Nan. Me and Nana recently have been housemates. We have bedrooms right beside each other. She comes over to our house all the time, and Mom says, "Now, Michael, you stay up and listen to your grandma. She calls." I remember a little while ago, she had come home and we were playing crokinole together, and there's actually a picture in the slideshow, I think. And she was just having a great time, me and her playing together and just enjoying ourselves like kids. It was great. She was no older than I was, it felt like. So I love you very much, Nana. Thank you for spending time with me the last few years. I really enjoyed it.
And Mom, happy 80th. We're so glad that God has allowed you this time to spend with us. And we're so happy to spend this time with you, and we just want to tell everyone that we love you very much and thank you for always being there for us, and we'll be here for you.
I guess as I get the microphone last. When Mary and I have been married 30 years, it seems like yesterday. And quite often, because we're the first people at church Sunday morning, obviously since we're the guys with the key, and even though I get up in the morning and say, "Marianne, I'm not going, I'm not feeling well," and nobody there likes me, the whole long story, that joke, She says, you have to go because you're the pastor. So of course we go. And occasionally I'll say to Marianne as we're standing in front of the church, you know, I would stand here in front of this church with you again. I would marry you all over again. And I think when we first got married, everybody thought we'd starve to death, so they tried to get us a job working for Terry Pigden. And then I did work there some. And then Alan and Karen thought, well, you could get a job working for Belleville Utilities or Ontario Hydro. But that wasn't my thing. And so I got to spend a lot of time with Wilfred and Shirley because as a pastor, my time is not set a 9 to 5 thing. So Wilfred figured anytime he called, I would come, which was quite regularly. And between Harold and I, we drove Wilfred to a lot of appointments. We knew the way to get there and how to get there. Of course, he'd say, Harold drives too fast. And so other days when I'm getting them there a half hour ahead of time, we'd be halfway to Belleville, he'd say, slow down, Dwight, I don't want to get there early. I said, then why did you ask me to leave 2 hours early? Well, in case there's any traffic. But he said, you're not driving like Harold. He'll drive fast and pass everybody on the road. I said, I can do that too if you want me to. No, he said, I don't want you to do that. You might wreck my car. Of course, we're going into Belleville, and he would always say, turn left here at what was Deer Haven. And I wouldn't. He said, Harold turns here. I said, but I'm not gonna. So after about a year of this, the last number of years, he would say, I suppose you're not gonna turn here anymore. I said, no, there's a nice new bridge right down there on Bell Boulevard, and I turn and go over that new bridge to get you to the hospital. Okay. But all the time, and all this time, Shirley was always there. We would go to appointments in Kingston or whatever, and I'd say, do you want to stop for lunch? No. Shirley will have supper ready when I get home. And she always did. A constant person. And I think the greatest compliment I can pay anybody, and you can pay anybody, is the word consistency. Oftentimes people ask me, how is so-and-so? And I will say they are consistent, which means they are there for you all the time. There when you call, there when you need them. Shirley is that type of person. She's been consistent. And we've had a lot of fun, her and I and Mary, in the last few years, because I'm the designated driver. Not that any of them drink, but I'm the only one with a driver's license. So 2 weeks ago, we're going shopping to get some new clothes for Shirley. By the way, she spent $700 almost on clothes. She didn't know that till I just said that. She just kept adding it to my credit card. And the comedy of it, we're standing in Tanjay, this new store, and Marianne's up at the checkout counter. And Shirley and I are, like, I'm pushing her in a wheelchair, it's quicker, at the mall. And she just, I push her close enough so she can feel all the clothes. And we got to this rack of really bright mauve jackets. And I said, what do you think of that one? She said, I like the white one. So I just took it off, 30% off, and she scratched it 20% more, which they never do ahead of time. The lady in there gave her a scratch card and then scratched it right in front of her. So now we know everything we touch is 50% off. It was a good deal. I said, you like this one? She says, yes. I picked out the right size. I walked over and said, Marianne, add this to the count. So Friday night we took Shirley to a concert because she was singing in a choir, intergenerational choir in Marmora. And she said to the lady as she's going out, Mrs. Kettle says, boy, do you ever look nice? She paid me the greatest compliment. She said, Dwight picked it out for me. We've had a great time. And Dr. Webb says that she could live to be 110. She takes no big medicine. So if you're thinking on a 90th and 100th birthday, forget it.
I might miss it.
You might miss it. She'll be here. Amen. Anybody else want to say anything? Thank you to Debbie Wood, who's kind of running things in and out of the kitchen for us as well. And Terry. give Shirley the mic.
Give me a kiss. Are you gonna give me a kiss? Oh, that's beautiful. And kiss.
No, just on behalf of Marianne and I and the family, thanks so much for everyone coming out today. We really appreciate you showing up and your support for Mom and your love. And back home safely, thanks so much. Mom wants to say something.
Thank you all for coming. I sure appreciate that. I love you all.
Amy, more food. Please eat more food.
Yes, please eat the food.
Watch the pictures.
We're going to do a few numbers for Shirley. This one's for Shirley. I've had many golden memories of the million things I've said and done, of when I separate them, darling. And I guess that's what this fool has gone and done.